Hi guys, this is Big Rig 150 coming to you a little later at night than I usually do. Um, Please subscribe, hit the notification button to know when I get new videos out. Sorry for the delay between videos. I'm in the process of moving, so things have been a little hectic with the work schedule and what have you. So, what I want to get into today is car companies eliminating sedans, mainly your domestics. Ford, Chrysler, GM are starting to eliminate your sedans. And the reason for that is the profitability and the market has changed. What I mean by the market has changed is I started a business 8 years ago and I used to sell 60 to 70% of my business was all Fusions and or Focuses. I didn't get a lot of the um, Taurus or anything else. It was strictly Focus, Fusion, Fiesta, which is common. Um, Probably 30% of my business at the time also was your F-150, which is the number one selling truck in the world or vehicle in the world, and then your Escapes and Explorers. So I've been seeing that since 2010 when I got into the business, and the past 5 years, my store in particular, we used to sell between 250 and 300 Fusions a year. We are lucky right now if we're selling 50 a year. Part of that is incentives on the vehicles. The other part is people want to get into the SUVs, into the Escapes, into the Explorers, into the Edges. Families are growing, so they need more room. We still do sell a few cars every month, roughly 10 to 15. So you do the math, that's anywhere from 120 to 160 cars in a year. That's half of what we normally do in a year. So from the Ford end, yeah, it makes sense to start eliminating that line of cars. What Ford is planning on doing is beginning of 2019, they're bringing back the Ranger. 2020, they are bringing back the Bronco, two of the most highly asked about vehicles that we see. And also, they are planning on bringing back another rugged off-road SUV, which has not been announced. If I was to assume 2022 is when that will come, there's also news that Ford is coming out with a small SUV, small truck, smaller than the Ranger. It's going to be a unibody style on the Focus body style. That's going to be called the Courier. That just got announced the other day, and I found that kind of interesting. Just to share a couple of facts with you, they're saying by 2022, 73% of all consumers will own an SUV slash truck. GM would own about 84% or have 84% of their vehicles being SUVs and trucks. Chrysler, 97. Now with Chrysler, you have Jeep in there, Dodge, Chrysler, and Fiat. So that's a combination. So that's very high number, but it makes sense when you think of the Jeep as in that category. And Ford's going to have roughly a 90% ownership of that. 90% of their vehicles is going to be your trucks and SUVs. Your imports, your Hondas, your Toyotas, Hyundai, Kia, they are still going to be making the cars. For whatever reason, they were able to make them profitable. So that's the reason that they're still being pushed. Ford also plans on doubling down on what they are saying as authentic off-road vehicles with the Bronco Raptor, excuse me, an unknown SUV, which I think is going to be announced not this year, 2019 coming up, but I think the 2020 car shows circuit, you'll see that. GM and Chrysler are also going in that same direction in the next couple of years. So by 2022, you're going to see a lot of cars gone. You're not going to have the amount of cars that you see on the road. It's going to be mostly, with Ford, you're going to see a lot of EcoSports. You're going to see a lot of Escapes. You're going to see a lot of Explorers and a lot of F-150s. GM, I'm going to go more with the Chevy brand because there's 12 lines of everything that GM has. It's absurd with the numbers they have. But I think you're going to see the Traverse, the Equinox, the Silverado, and the Colorados are big ones. Chrysler, you're going to see the Ram, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, and the Durango as your main vehicles that they're going to be. So this is going to become a very competitive market in the next 4 years, if not sooner. There's going to be a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of incentives on your bigger SUVs than you've seen in the past. And that could all change, you know. Gas prices could skyrocket to $5 a gallon. Who knows? That's the one thing that's why they're given until 2022 before they do anything. So it's not like they're just stopping everything. By 2022, they should have an idea as to how things are going. Ford's coming out with more small economic SUVs to replace the Fiesta and the Focus. So it's high up, but it's not too high up. You're going to see a spike up in used cars. Their values, because the supply and demand is going to be very, very high, because you have still a lot of people that like the feel of a car. And that'll be for the foreseeable future. You are going to see that type of transition happen. Now, will this all change? Who knows? But they have things planned out for at least the next 4 years, 5 years max, so they kind of know what they're doing. I think they're waiting to see if there's any changes that the president and his staff change to certain regulations. That's going to be a big deal. Because one of the regulations that's out there right now for car manufacturers, your entire fleet of cars has to get 54 miles to the gallon. Now, 54 miles to the gallon on the highway, so before you start freaking out. The problem with that is your domestics have more trucks. They have the F-150, the Silverado, the Ram, the Jeep. They're not great gas cars. They're getting roughly 26, 27, but that's stretching it. You are now seeing the diesel F-150, the diesel Ranger, diesel Ram. So you are starting to see the diesels, but they're not getting that much more fuel economy. So there's got to be something that happens in the near future. This is going to be an evolving story, so I will be probably touching on this story off and on from here on out. If I don't make a video, please don't think I've just given up. I am going to be, like I said, in the process of moving, so time's going to be limited with packing and what have you. But please subscribe, hit the notification bell, so you know when I do another one. like and share. I want to try to grow this channel so that more and more people get knowledge, so they don't have to read everything. I'm going to kind of read everything and condense it into my opinion, but have some facts behind it. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to comment. Leave me comments. I want comments. I want to know if I'm doing a good job, if there's something I should change. Let me know now so I can start adjusting my style. Um, for now, I want to wish you all a good night. Again, subscribe, hit the notification, and I'll see you again. This is Big Rig 150 signing off. Have a nice evening.